Welcome, everybody, to Night of the Nerdy Laser podcast, episode 82. We're headed to the woods, stealing other people's girlfriends, and watching the Zero Boys.
Yeah, we
I
are.
am one of your hosts, Richard. Should this movie exist, Yule?
And I'm Jeff Lown. Yes, it should.
Well, I mean, I guess it should. It's fine. So we're talking the Zero Boys. It's from 1986. It's weird, man. It's just kind of, it's not weird. It's a slasher, right?
Sorta, yeah.
You'd if you're going to categorize it, it's a slasher. It gives me like Alone in the Dark vibes a lot. I
Yeah.
don't know why. I don't know if it should, but it just does. Like the feel of it. I mean, it probably has a lot to do with the way they filmed it and the timing. You know, they're both around the same time. It's just a weird little movie, man, that I had never heard of. I didn't know what the hell you were talking about when you brought it up.
Yeah, it's very weird. It's an action movie, it's a slasher movie, it's people being used as currency for betting movie. It's a snuff film movie.
It is a snuff film movie,
had a lot
but
going on.
if you're gonna use people as betting material, Kelly Maroney's not a bad idea to do that with.
Yeah.
So she's obviously from Killbot / Chopping Mall.
Right. Yeah, she's in a lot of the 80s stuff.
More than I probably realize, because I just know her from Chopping Mall. Well, and now this. This is on Tubi, so you can go watch it as of this recording. It is also has an Arrow release. Is that right? You have it?
I do. It's
Is it nice?
And DVD release. Yeah, it's
Is it a deluxe set or no?
It doesn't have like a slipcover or like a fancy one like Eric's Revenge or anything like that. But it's just standard release. But any edition you get of Arrow pretty much is guaranteed to have bonus features and stuff like that. So can't complain really. Only thing I will complain about is I opened it and like the vinyl cover that holds the like it's all slashed down the side, and I was like, OCD's gonna go crazy worrying about that like ripped cover on the thing.
Can you just switch the Blu-ray case?
Arrow uses those like
those sons of a bitch.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I'll live. I'll just put it back on the shelf.
No, you won't. Yeah, that's going to be the one you send me at the end of this movie. Jeff pawns all his hand-me-downs. I'm like the redheaded stepchild.
You love it.
I mean, I do. It's like Christmas.
Every month a box of movies shows up. Yeah. We didn't even have to subscribe.
No. And I have gone 50 days without spending money. I mean, like real money, like I don't think I've bought a DVD or Blu-ray or anything. That may change because I think I'm going to Grindhouse tomorrow, but we'll see.
Yeah. Well, you did good.
We had a good run. All right. So you want to explain what this little wacky movie is?
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a combination of all those things I said, but in the end, it's really a slasher, like you said. So it's basically good versus evil, but we get to that point in the weirdest way possible. So we're in like
the good guys.
Zero Boys, I think. I don't know.
Maybe. I'm not sure.
But so we get this intro where there's like a combat zone and there's some guys like flying all over the place. There's some dudes sneaking in, dudes getting shot in the face. We get like slow motion, like dudes going, like diving out of the way and stuff. And then we get this other guy, which so the bad guy in this, the guy that bets Kelly Maroney, his girlfriend, is wearing a Nazi jacket, right?
Yes.
And he's Jewish because they say that later in the movie. And I was like, okay, a little strange, but
weird.
Yeah, just some weird thing there. But it's our main guy. What's his name?
David?
Is it David?
I think they have. I think they all have boring names.
Yeah, it's so Steve and Larry and some guy named Rip. But yeah, so Steve is our main guy, and he kills that guy, and he's like, "I told you the Zero Boys would win. We're the best there's ever been." And everybody's like high-fiving. The dude pays him some money.
So it makes you think that it's like a real battle of some kind.
Yeah.
Like you don't know that there's an audience there. You just think it's like a. I mean, you don't really believe it's war necessarily. I don't think, because there's
like a
like
Spec Ops mission
the
or something.
grenades are like color bombs. Like it's like pink and green and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So but then it pans out, and everybody there's like a whole audience, like a stadium, like ah!
The weird thing about that is a day or two before I watched this, I watched Class of 1999 Part 2 or whatever, The Substitute, and the guy in that has like a paintball arena too, or like a combat arena simulator or something. It's just, it must have been like a thing around the late 80s where everybody's like, yeah, we gotta do paintball, we gotta like train for war, we gotta.
Paintball was huge, dude.
Yeah.
Paintball was huge. I remember going to one in probably 93 or 94, maybe 92.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Wayne's World was out because they were playing Ballroom Blitz.
Oh.
And we were in this warehouse, and I was scared to death of getting shot, so I just hid the entire time. I didn't shoot anybody. Nobody shot me.
It's funny. We used to always go in, I think, middle school for like parties and stuff, birthdays.
To paintball?
Yeah.
It's like, happy birthday.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
All right. So, did you know this movie was filmed on the same locations and the sets as Friday the 13th Part 3?
No, but I could believe it.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. So not only do they steal this guy's girlfriend for the weekend, which I don't know, what if they lost? What was he going to give them?
He didn't have a girlfriend to give in return.
I know. And so yeah, what the fuck?
It was just a weird bet. I don't get it.
So they also break into a house. These people, like, how they just make it very hard. I think the idea is cool, and I think it's one that should be remade. And I think it could work. I think the premise is cool.
Yeah.
So we get, when they win, they're going to go on to a survival in the woods thing or something. I don't know.
Yeah, like a weekend retreat.
Yeah, we get but they have no tents. They have no nothing. And we get this weird like driving montage of them like going to the place. And it's like oddly long, like 2 minutes long.
Yeah.
Why? And we're just watching them drive down the road.
We're just in the car with them driving.
Yeah. But they're all jerks. I mean, they all have girlfriends. So the other two, there's 3 guys.
Yeah.
And there's 2 girls that are already girlfriends to the guys. And then we have the added girl who everybody's very mean to. And she doesn't act like she's scared or like mad, or I don't really know. Not really sure.
It's inconvenienced. Like it inconvenienced her, and she's just like, all right, whatever.
Oh man, I got to go on a weekend getaway with people I don't know, and I'm probably gonna have to be raped. I don't know.
Jeez, I don't know about all that, but yeah, no, I mean,
what else were they gonna do with her?
Right, I mean, the boyfriend's like, just go with him. You don't have to do anything, and he's like, no, you're mine for the weekend. Ha ha ha! And I was like,
it's a weird premise. I mean, the movie's fine. I'm glad I watched it. It's fine that it exists. It's not a bad movie.
Yeah.
But it is problematic as hell for me. Like, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. There's some weird, I mean, like, those 2 things are big factors for me of like, they're not really the good guys, so I don't really care about them being killed.
Yeah, and the way they pace the kills in this movie are weird because you think almost that nobody's gonna die.
Yeah, it is true. Like, we get one that one of the girls goes missing, and we find out there's once they break in. So here's the premise of the story. These guys are losers. They play paintball. They get really good, but before they get really good, they're nicknamed the Zero Boys.
Right.
And then they win this thing. They're gonna take the girlfriend and their girlfriends to the survival thing. They putz around in the woods, and then they find this really nice hunting cabin that they think is vacant, so they break into it.
Right.
That's the premise of the movie. Now, one really cool part is when one of the couples is doing it.
Yeah.
Do we get boobs? Boob check?
I don't think. If
I don't
we
think
did, it
so.
was like super brief.
Yeah, it's not good. So anyway, they're doing it, and so she's on the bottom, and she looks up, and I love the camera shot has to be seen. I love this. There's like this little like a little hole in the ceiling,
Yeah.
and you just see an eye watching her.
Yeah. Then
Watching
it pans off out of the frame. It's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, it's a great scene. Yeah, I mean, it's that is some of those scenes are enough to watch the movie. I think there's booby or hidden doorways in this house. Is that right?
It's kind of weird because like it's a house, but then there's like a barn with the generator. Then there's like a kill room, like Barbarian, and then there's the room where they film stuff. Then there's like an off-site building they were hanging out at. But and they're always just in the same building though. Like,
Well, and it's weird because there's one point where they take the girl's upstairs in the bathroom, taking a
mhm.
shower, getting ready to take a shower. She gets kidnapped, but it shows them going out of a door upstairs, and then within seconds they're at the barn. They're
Yeah.
running to the barn. It's like, where did they go?
And then all of a sudden, like at one point she comes back. They drop her through like the attic door, and she's like dangling, and they're like, "Oh my god, she's dead!" And then really, she's like, "No, I'm okay. My legs hurt." And I was like, "What?"
Well, she was in the plastic, right?
Right? Yeah,
They
she's in the
dropped her
tarp.
down. She's wrapped in plastic. They think she's dead, and she comes to life, and everything's fine.
Yeah,
But they go to this barn, and it's like Saw. It's like there's a TV in there, and I don't think some of this technology existed in 1986 because I can't remember what happened where I was like, I don't think that's right. What was it? It was like edited or something. Like the girl that they kidnapped and were torturing, like something about it was edited. And I was like, well, that couldn't have happened that fast back then.
I'm not sure.
Maybe I made that up. I don't know. But still, the technology for 1986, there is a camera there, which there were cameras around. But I mean, I remember cameras back then being like, this is like a little webcam on a stick.
Yeah, well, so it's really weird because they hear a scream. That's how it all starts. How they find out something's going on. They hear a lady scream.
It's
So
like
they
Ned
all go,
Flanders. It's like the Simpsons episode where Bart hears Ned Flanders scream.
that's funny. But yeah, no, so they hear a scream, they go to look and they find like that snuff tape playing instead of like finding a girl at this point. So I don't know if it was like a recording. I didn't know if it was like a live relay that they got to see or what it was.
Yeah.
It's just kind of strange. But they do that and that kind of kicks off the thing. The girl that gets, abducted that comes back and isn't dead, she's like, they said they wanted to let me live because they want to torture us or something. And then one of the guys calls him on the phone and he's got like that backwoods hillbilly kind of like lisp thing. He's like, I don't know, you ruined my plans. I'm going to get you.
I know. The bad guys are not good in this
No,
movie.
they're extremely generic is what they are.
And they're barely in it.
Yeah. Yeah, all the scenes basically kind of hinge on the suspense element of what you think is going to happen. There's the weird snake under the porch scene where he's like crawling all over the girl. There's the weird scene where the girls try to barricade themselves in the house and they open that chest and there's just a dead body in there.
They're like, wow, this is really heavy, and they're pulling it. They're like, this is so heavy. I barely do this. This is so heavy, and then they open it up and they're like, ah. But I thought that was kind of cool though.
Yeah, something
I
different.
will say this. I feel like the dialogue and a lot of the actions of the people are extremely realistic.
Probably.
I mean, the dialogue, there is some dialogue in this movie that is very good. Like just the interaction between the guys and even the girls. It's not bad dialogue. It's actually really good. The situation's weird. But it's really good dialogue. And then like the trunk thing, I thought was, I mean, it is funny, but it was kind of cool because the guys, come in. I thought all the reactions were good. I don't know. There are some good things in this movie.
No, there's certainly some good things in there. Like you're saying, it's just very weird and like weird how it's put together.
You know what else is weird?
Probably Jason down at the dungeon.
That's right, Jeff. Our buddy Jason down at the dungeon here in Maryville, Tennessee. He loves this show, and he's never seen the Zero Boys. So I told him he had to watch it, and he said he will. But I also let him borrow The Tall Man, which I don't think you've seen either, have you?
I don't think so.
That's that movie I showed you and Matt when y'all were here. It's Jessica Biel. It's by the same director as Martyrs.
Yeah. Okay. I know which one you're talking.
Yeah. I mean, it's worth watching. It's not. I mean, you won't hate yourself afterwards.
It won't change my life.
And not like Martyrs. So, yeah, Jason is great. And what's even better than Jason is his store. I love Jason. I just left from down there. He's got some really cool stuff in. He's got a lot of stuff that we're covering. He has Basket Case 2 and 3. He's even got the Deadly Spawn, which we're going to do on Trash Talk.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk about that at the end of the show. And because we don't really talk about Trash Talk on this show, but we have reason to celebrate.
Yeah.
So anyway, Jason, down at the dungeon, he has VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, all sorts of boutique stuff, Vinegar Syndrome, Visual Vengeance, Severin, whatever you want in that area. He's also got video games galore. He's got vinyl, just a lot of cool, nerdy, geeky stuff. He's got a brand new box of Terminator 2 trading cards.
Ooh.
He's got a brand new box of Teenage Mutant Ninja
Turtles.
I don't know,
animated series. Wasn't it? I thought it was the animated series ones.
He's got some cards from the animated series, but he has sealed packs from the first movie, I believe.
Ooh.
So just lots of cool stuff. You never know what's going to walk through the door. And we urge you to go to Instagram because that's the best place to find them. It's Southland_Dungeon. You can find him there. Follow him. He posts twice a day. He posts everything he gets in just about. And if you see something you like, you can message him, see how much it is. Y'all can make the deal. And he'll ship it right to your house just like he has done for Jeff next to me. So you can also go to Southland Books and cafe.com. That will get you to the main hub of where the dungeon is located. All the links are actually right in the notes. So whether you're listening to us on your favorite podcasting channel or you're watching us on YouTube, you can just check our notes there. All the links are there, so you don't even have to remember this. So there's a pit in this movie.
Yeah, there is. So the bad guys set up all the booby traps, kind of like you were saying. And what is it? They just cover up an area with a little bit of bamboo, and one of the ladies falls like directly into it. And then my favorite thing about it is the guys look at it and they're like, I think those are poisoned. And that lady's like, ah! And just starts screaming.
It's a little weird. Is this the movie too where there's two of them running and they get pulled up by the rope?
I think so.
And they're trying to cut each other down. And he's trying to.
Yeah, Steve and
that scene took so long.
Yeah, Steve and that girl are running because he's like, I can't let you separate from me. Then he gets them stuck in a tree.
Yeah, they're hanging upside down, and he's just like doing ab crunches to like slash her rope.
Right.
So, and it's like 5 minutes, and
Yeah,
all they're doing is cutting rope.
A lot of the scenes are like real-time scenes. Like, it's like, all right, let's see how long it's going to take them to drive to this place. One thing we should mention, because they do have a weird like tonal shift when they hear the girl scream, because they get into a car after they hear her scream, and that's when they go to the cabin initially. But they bring in a case with them, right? And in the case, there's just like fully automatic machine guns
That's
and
true, yes.
pistols and like swords and knives. And they're like, wait, why do you guys have this? And they're like, those aren't paintball guns. And he's like, this is how we train in the desert. And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah,
why are you training in the desert with live guns?
Yeah, that's stupid.
So yeah, they get her out of the
like
trap.
I said, the movie is actually a good movie, but it's wrapped around some stupidity. Hi, Kramer. And but yeah, why don't they just say like we like guns or something? Like they're trying to make an excuse for it, and they shouldn't.
No, I mean, at that point they're using them for their protection. And the cool thing I guess about that with the guns is, gun is better than like knife and arrow, you would think. And so I mean, you'd think these guys would have the upper hand, but somehow the like kind of the inbred people or whoever lives at this cabin still has like the advantage because
that's because they're in the barn shooting all this shit for no reason. They're just like with the mirror and the TV and
running in shooting.
They're just wasting bullets. It's like, I mean, I get it. You want to send a message, hit the TV, maybe hit the glass, but they're just two. They're like Rambo in there, man.
Yeah, no. So I mean, and then so the other guy, Rip or whatever I said his name was,
that's Hulk Hogan from No Holds Barred.
Is that his name in No Holds Barred? Yeah, I swear this guy's name's Rip. Let's see. We got Steve, Larry, Rip, Trish, and a guy named Killer and Killer 2. So I guess it's Rip. But anyway, we get him like in the back of the Jeep and he's like, yeah, we beat him. We won. And that arrow just like straight out of Friday the 13th, like neck scene for Kevin Bacon comes through that guy's chest and he just falls over and they're like, they check his pulse. He's dead instantly. And I was like, well, gee, I don't know. I don't think he bled out that fast. I don't think it hit any like crucial organs, but what, this guy's dead, like from an arrow shot. But yeah, I thought that was interesting choice there. And that's our first kill of the main like 6 characters, right?
Yeah. How many make it out? 3?
3, I want to say. I mean, Steve and what's her name for sure. And then maybe one more.
And then one of the other girls.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. What you got anything else to say about it? It does leave a cliffhanger ending.
Yeah, we get the whole it's not Pavlov. Yeah, whatever. It's the whole gun thing I always mention. It's like if you introduce a gun in scene 1, you have to use it by scene 3. But somebody introduces that electric shock thing, right? Stun gun, and he's like, hold this real close to you and use it for your safety. And that's basically how she kind of. I won't get into how she kills the bad guy, but she does, and it's the dumbest way possible.
It is the dumbest way possible, but I actually liked it, and it looked cool.
Okay, yeah, so that was kind of interesting, but
I don't know if it would work like that.
I don't think so. But
I mean, I'm going to say no just because, but it's a horror movie.
Yeah, I guess it is. It was filmed in the course of 18 days, so I guess to throw this together.
Especially back then, because I think like now things are really quick, but back then I think things were, typically took forever to film.
Yeah, that's pretty much the only trivia I could find for this. And then I did notice there was one goof at like the 51-ish minute mark, 52. They start shooting guns and the sound happens before the guns actually start firing. But I mean, you
just can't even tell in this movie what's going to happen.
That seems fitting for this. The director is Nico Mastorikis, I think his name is.
Did he do anything else?
He did Blind Date from '84, which
Oh, the Bruce Willis and Kim Basinger?
No, I wish. This one's a like slasher one. He did that. There was another one I want to say was involved in. It's called Hired to Kill from like 1990. It's another like kind of actiony movie like this, and I know it's also on Tubi as of this recording, and I know Arrow put that one out. And the reason I remember is just because the artwork for this one, I'd show you, but I'm too lazy to walk in the other room. But that one and the Hired to Kill artwork was really cool. It always kind of stuck out to me. But yeah, so that's about it. I don't think there's too much more to say.
No, I mean, watch it. It's on Tubi if you want. It's cool. We didn't give away crazy amounts. There's really no surprises. There's still some surprises left in there that we didn't talk about if you do consider them surprises, but really it's just a plain Jane kind of movie. It's got some weird problematic things in it, but overall it's fine.
Yeah. No, I mean, let's rate it.
So we had a message on Instagram.
Okay.
First time, not even a message, a comment. First comment of all time.
There we go.
At least one of like substance, that I believe that they listen to the show and not just watch the movie.
Yeah.
But somebody mentioned that they didn't know where our scale was on our rating system, which makes sense because we don't say it, but we're going to start. So how many stolen girlfriends over the weekend out of 10 do you give this movie? Out of 5 do you give this movie?
Okay, yeah, so we do it out of we do it out of 5, and we do have. So basically, it's out of 10. I mean, use common denominator.
We do it out of 5.
Yeah, we do it out of 5. For this one, I'd probably give it a 5. Or not a 5.
Shit.
See, I got myself confused. 2.5 is what I would give it.
Nope, you already gave it a 5.
All right, 5 it is. No, 2.5. It's a movie, just like you said.
Yeah, that seems good. That seems like a good spot. It's average. It's worth watching. I don't hate my life that I didn't watch it or that I did watch it. So it's fine. I agree with that. Now that I know that's Kelly Maroney, it's even better.
Yeah. I was going to say I'd probably give this one a 2, really, but because it's kind of crazy, it bumps it up that half for me to make it the 2.5.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like it's not. I mean, if you took the things that we found problematic out and that are weird in the movie, it would probably suck.
Yeah, I think so.
So at least those things bump up the movie.
Yeah, it keeps you intrigued for sure. You're just like, I have to see how this is going to finish because this is so dumb.
Yeah, it's true. So, Night of the Nerdy Laser on Instagram, Night of the Nerdy Laser on Spotify, Libsyn, Apple Podcasts, whatever podcatcher you follow, there it is. You can find all the links to those things in the notes if you forget. So you can always find us somehow. Just look in the notes. And there's all sorts of fun information down there. Now, we've been doing a show called Trash Talk for a while. We're in our 2nd season. This has been showing on Tingler Television. And one of the reasons we don't talk about it a whole lot is it was very hard to explain where you went to find it.
Yes.
It was on Amazon Fire Stick. You went to some Stream app, and then you downloaded it. And so I love Tingler Television. Eulogy is one of the brains behind it, and a lot of good people work on the channel and make sure, it's been running since last year, like probably 6 months, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really proud to be, to know them and to know that they do care about the channel. It is completely ad based. They take donations. Like they don't make much money doing this, if any. And now you can find it on Roku. They finally got Tingler Television on Roku. So you just go to your Roku app. You type in Tingler Television and you just add the channel. Then when you go to the channel right now, there's like 3 boxes and they all look a little like weird. They just don't have anything on them. Just click on one of those boxes and it'll go to the live feed.
Yeah.
I do know in sometime in March, I think mid-March, they are working on doing setting up the on demand. So what I'm hoping is that you'll be able to go there and hit Trash Talk, and you can watch all the episodes of Trash Talk there. Right now, I don't know what time we're airing. It used to be on Wednesdays, but I'm not sure, so I'll find that out for next time. But please download Tingler Television on the Roku app. They have so much content. It's not, just podcasters. They show movies. They've got horror hosts. They do have other podcasts on there. It's just a wide mix of things. So if you love horror, you'll get a kick out of it. It's all free. So yeah, you can follow Eulogy Mortem on Facebook, and she posts a lot of Tingler Television related stuff in there.
Yep.
So I'm going to see her this weekend over in Manchester, Tennessee. I'm doing an event there for FrankenCon, and probably going to talk a little bit about Night of Nerdy Laser too, hopefully. And yeah, things are moving along. I think we're getting our bearings, and we hope you guys like the show.
Yeah, for sure. And we appreciate everybody listening. Like Richard said about all the podcatchers out there, if you guys wouldn't mind going over and giving us a like, or giving us a rating or comment or review or anything like that, it's totally free for you guys to do it, and it helps us out immensely. So
yeah, I haven't checked the reviews on iTunes. Let me check.
I don't think we have any, but I mean, we never do, so it's easy to just say I don't think we do.
The last one was in October. People.
Yeah, come on now.
Come on.
November, December, January. That's a 3-month gap of no
reviews.
Go
to, and we give you a weekly podcast. You know how many people don't do that? Yeah, go to iTunes and yeah, just review us. Make me happy. All right. Well, that does it. And until next time.
Somebody should keep it bloody.
Because somebody should have to. Or have to, whatever.
Yeah, why not?